Hello, fellow YouTubers. Switchdober here. I'm leaving this message to anyone to listen. I heard recently that United Kingdom has suffered from a third terror attack, and that is a second one for at least a short time. A week or two, I think it was 1 or 2 weeks ago, it was in Manchester, but now in London again. Why? I mean, why can't people stop doing terror attacks? What's the point of it? I mean, what is it? I mean, sure, they wanted to spread terror in the public because they think they would be better to spread terror, but they are so wrong. Even Sweden was attacked at least almost 2 months ago, and that attack did leave a deep, deep impact on the rest of the people. When I first heard about it, I was completely shocked. I mean, yeah, I never thought Sweden would be target for a terror attack. Most of the reason had in since last year was in France and now in UK and Sweden. What is happening with the world? I mean, come on, world! You stop. You should stop doing terror attacks. What's the point with all of this? I think there are at least two most known terror attacks in the world. First one is World Trade Center 2001, with almost 3,000 people died. And the second one is Utøya in Norway. That was a terrible attack. Even it was done with one single man, killed so many, especially 69 teenagers. I mean, teenagers, they had a lot of time. They're having their entire life ahead of them. But not at all. Those teenagers survived the attack. They were probably scarred for life. They were probably suffer from PST, post post-thoracic syndrome. Sorry if I pronounce it right. I can't even imagine how it feels like to be in a center when that kind of happens. Especially here in Sweden when the first terror attack ever happened. One of the victims was an 11-year-old girl. She was actually walking home from school when the terror attack happened and she was killed. I can't imagine how her parents or family would react to find out their daughter was killed in a terror attack. I can't even imagine to those people who lost family members in 9/11. I can't even imagine. I mean it. Even the people say, I would understand how it feels, but I couldn't. If I lost someone in that sort of terror attack, even if it was in New York or even UK or in Norway, even if it was a friend or family member, I can't even imagine how it feels like to lose someone like that. Because I read yesterday that there were a couple of Swedish people in UK, in London, yes, when the terror attack happened. They saw a girl was run over by the truck. So they ran over to her to try to help her. But help was way beyond what they could do. So I mean, if something happens today, I mean, there has been more terror attacks in the late 21st century than in the last, I don't know, 200 or 300 years, if you don't count with the world wars, but terror attacks. I mean, that is a terrible, terrible. I can't even imagine how the people would feel like they even lose someone like close to them. Especially when that happened in UK, in Manchester, when 22 people died during a concert. Several of the singers or the bands had to cancel their concerts, but they even they made new concerts a short afterwards in honor to the people who died in this concert. And that is something I do appreciate to anyone. So people fight against terrorism. We don't have to suffer from terror attacks because it could happen anywhere in the world. It can happen in UK, even again, it can even happen in somewhere in Europe, even in America, even anywhere. I mean, terror attacks, that's not a good thing. I mean, if I lost someone, a friend, or even a family member or something, I would never, never recover from it. I could, barely leave myself if it would happen to someone close to me. Especially when I have friend. At least I had two special friends, close friends, in even one of these United States and one in UK. If something happened to them, I wouldn't. Probably, sorry, I can't even imagine how it felt to lose someone. I mean, sure, people will say you will come over it. Time heals wounds. Sure, that happens. But deep, deep wounds sometimes never heals. Especially losses of someone close to you, like a family member or a close friend. That kind of wounds might never heal. Even they try to say, like the old saying is saying, like, time heals wounds. Perhaps. But deeply wounds sometimes can never be healed. I mean, I would never get my wounds healed if something happened. And because of the recent attacks over the last, let's say, 20 years, since almost 16 years since 9/11, then last year in France, this year in UK, in Sweden, and a few years back it was in Norway. I mean, so many terror attacks over almost 20 years. When will it ever stop? It seems almost it would never stop at all. Who knows? Next time, one of those terror attack can happen anywhere in the world. The casualties can be from, I don't know, like 20 or 30 or even 100 or even 1,000 or even worse, 1,000,000 people dies. Even that, people around the world has working in organizations like Intel's most of in national security, even police, military. They all works together with civilian organization, with someone is non-profit and someone is it with profit, to help to fight to stop terrorism. I think that is a good idea. Even if we don't know for sure it would happen to stop it, but people saying that even if we are living in different countries, even continents, separate from cultures, even by skin color or language, that same people think, yeah, we are different races. Like the Norwegian are different, like European, we are one race. The Americans are one race, and your Asians are one race. But that is wrong. In this time of need, well, in better word, in these times, we shouldn't be divided. We should stand together as one united people. So, as one united people, we can stand against terrorism or terror attacks anywhere in the world. Because people who do these terror attacks wants to divide the society, to blame others, to want to cause terror or even chaos in a society. They want others to be blamed. I mean, what is the point of to be blame other people for something they haven't done? Over the last 20 years, something has happened almost like that. And I think we should stop terrors at any time. Because if we don't, the dream that many has for world peace will never happen. Probably not in our lifetime or in our children or our grandchildren or even our great grandchildren or even some. It might never happen for next, like say, 200 or 500 years. I mean, just just think about it. Will it ever be world peace, or will it be chaos in the world instead? All the governments in the world be overthrown, even collapse. If if the world governments fails and collapse, there will be chaos anywhere. There will be anarchy in the world. I think that was most people once who were doing the terror. They want to spread chaos in the society to get other people to be blamed. But what is the point? What is the point to do terror attacks? What is the point? Just reading about these stories about from news, hearing about it, it makes me both sad, even furious in my heart. To just even there are a small number of people died, even like 12 or 5 or even 100, doesn't matter. A person's life is priceless. Anyone is worth something, except those who are doing these terror attacks. They are not worth anything. I mean, They think that is fun to spread chaos in the world. If this happens like, somewhere in the world, I I don't want to live here. If it has happens sometimes this again in this somewhere in the close future, like I mean, if it happens again, even it's in a France or UK or even somewhere in Europe or even in America, I don't want it to happen. Most of my friends are like here in Sweden. Are, I don't know if they were probably terrified to read about this kind of terror attacks recently. Who knows? People who are walking around the streets in Europe, America, anywhere, we can't be we can't just go walking around the streets wonder if they will happen again. We can't be sure. I mean, yeah, they can happen anytime. Like, if I was walking around the street and suddenly a truck driving by and trying to drive over people and somehow blow up the truck with a lot of bombs in it. I mean, that is nothing will want to happen. People are afraid to walk on the streets during nights or even alone since these recent terror attacks. Why can't people be safe and walk around the streets or even go to the store or be with friends or even go to school without feeling terror in their hearts? I mean, I can't even imagine how it feels like to lose someone like in a terror attack, especially what happens in a school, even a government building. If anyone even hear about some sort of stories, remember just one thing. We all are united as one people. We shouldn't be divided because of it. Especially when we have friends all over the world. Especially one of my friends, Rose in America, well, in United States, even my friend Chloe in the UK. If something happened to them, I wouldn't. I mean, I can't imagine how it feels to even to just to lose one of them or even both of them. Yeah, terror attacks should be stopped. I mean, they would. I can't even imagine how the. You can't imagine how I feel when I read about some sort of stories about news about terror attacks. It fuels my heart. Even makes me. I feel sadness over this. I can't even imagine how it feels. I can't even imagine. Most of the people in the world are probably like me, terrified to read about this kind of terror attacks. Even it happens like every day or almost every month. It seems that terror attacks occurs more frequent, more often than before. Even people are trying to stop it, always find a new way to spread terror. What will be the next time? Most of the people have been either been driven off by a car, a truck, or even been shot down, been shooting to death. What would happen next time? Like right here in Sweden, the truck was driving has explosives in it. If that happened, if that exploded, it would have killed more people than I even could imagine. Especially when if someone has access to a bomb that and I don't mean regular bomb, like a C4 or something, like atomic bomb, like an A bomb, a nuclear bomb, for example, if detonated that in a major city, that would kill millions. Not even that. So if anyone listens to the message, please don't be afraid. You should be. I know if you don't want to be calm, but please relax and remember there are more people out there who is as equal terrified as you are, as me, as an I am. I can never understand what is the point of terror attacks. So if people who listen to my video is from either from France or UK or even America or anywhere in the world, you should understand I am against terrorism. We should fight and save people, not using terror to spread chaos. We should be starting to spread peace, not terror, peace instead. And Chloe and Rose, if you hear this message, I I do want I don't want to lose any of you as a friend in any of these cruel terror attacks. Especially since we are close friends. But even other friends who listen to this video, like Cody, we all not alone. And we're not a divided people. We are one big united people against terrorism. We all should fight against it. This is all I would like to say. If you will leave a comment in below what you think about, well, most like what I said, you can leave it. Please leave it in a comment below. And as always, this is Swedish Dablo over and out.